This is my audience. Thank you, my audience, for coming today. And yeah, you guys are the real ones. Thank you, Josiah, for the introduction. And as Josiah said, we are all here today to celebrate the merry matrimony of Maggie and Sam.
Woo, Maggie!
Now, as Maggie's older sister, I feel that it's my duty to make sure that whoever she's marrying is good enough for her. And then I realized, as I was thinking to myself about this, that nobody's good enough for Maggie. But I guess Sam is as close as it gets. I remember the first time I ever heard about Sam. Maggie and I were both home from college for the weekend, and she was unusually giddy, checking her phone a lot, and I was like, man, what's up with this? But I wasn't gonna ask any questions because Maggie doesn't usually like to open up about that type of thing. Then surprisingly, she told me about it all on her own. And she was telling me how this boy named Sam always was goofing off in class, and they started hanging out a little bit outside of class. And I was like, man, Maggie's talking about a boy. And it was crazy to me because Maggie had not spoken to a boy her whole high school career. And so I was like, wow, this Sam kid must be something special. And then when I got to meet Sam, I realized that he kind of was special. I realized that Sam was the one for Maggie one day as we were riding in the car. And we were on our way to Qdoba or Starbucks or something, you know, what we're usually doing. Sam was driving and he hit a deer. And like any normal human, he got out of the car to check the damage on his car, which wasn't too bad. But then he also tried to approach the deer and make sure that it was okay, but deer are really aggressive and you're not really supposed to do that. So Maggie and I were cracking up in the car, yelling at him, what are you doing? And he was just, checking on the deer. And in that moment, it really revealed a couple things about Sam's personality, that he was super compassionate because, he wanted to help this sick little deer, and that he could make Maggie laugh, which are two very important things, I feel like, in a potential marriage candidate. And so this was just one time when I realized that Sam was almost good enough for my little sister. And another time was Maggie came down with this serious illness, and she was super, super sick, and she had to come home. And I remember that Sam was there every single day, checking up on her, bringing her soup, bringing her flowers, the works. And I just also felt like that was extremely important because it showed how much he cared about her and how he wasn't even gonna let this deathly illness repel him from being with her and taking care of her, which is also extremely important in a marriage. Now, I just want to conclude by asking you all to raise your glasses to this lovely couple and toast to them.